was living in Young Park. In fact, I often talk about the fact that I could see the arena from my bedroom window, but I had no idea what went on in that building. And then, sure enough, my third grade class gets on a bus and goes there, and there's this thing called the Norfolk Symphony. The conductor was Russell Stanger, and I'd never heard an orchestra before. And this man comes out, he stands on the podium, the orchestra stands up, and they started to play the Star-Spangled Banner, which I had heard before, but never in the voice of the orchestra. And all of it captured me in every pore of my being. And I knew before that hour was over that I wanted that job. I wanted the job of standing in the midst of all of that sound, which is weird for an 8-year-old to know your life's calling.
That same year, Thomas Wilkins started playing the violin. 2 years later, he would switch to the cello, and by the 7th grade, a new instrument had captured his attention.
I learned to play trumpet at Jaycox Junior High School. A lot of my friends were in the band, and those guys wore uniforms, and I thought, well, that's pretty cool. I got to figure out a way to get me a uniform, Actually, I learned the fingerings for trumpet so that I could go to summer band camp and sort of be ahead of the game. And sure enough, I was able to be both in the band and the orchestra in junior high school. And this is how beautiful the whole thing is. I was invited to try to conduct my junior high school orchestra. And sure enough, after some trepidation, I got up on the podium and did it. And then I became like the student conductor of the junior high school orchestra. I mean, it was one gift from God after another. I was a kid to a single mother. She couldn't afford to buy me an instrument. And the band director said, I'm short on tuba players. If you switch to tuba, I'll let you keep one at home. And I went, sold. So much to the chagrin of my neighbors, I became a tuba player in the band and a cello player in the orchestra. But the other thing that happened that was really powerful for me was that I went to Booker T, and a man by the name of Reginald Walker, who was a renowned local musician, was the band director. And he just embraced my love for conducting, and he just made me his student conductor. And I conducted every day in high school. And so that's an incredible experience. Of course, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was still conducting. And so I got a chance to learn what leadership of people feels like and what having people respond to my musical gestures feels like at a very early age. And that just paved the way for my post-high school education.
Over the years, Thomas Wilkins has used his skills and talent to teach music at universities like Virginia Commonwealth and the University of Tennessee, and he's conducted orchestras all over the country, including the Boston Symphony and the Hollywood Bowl. And he's never forgotten those who helped pave his way so that he could pave the way for the next generation of musicians. I asked him to describe his process for conducting, and this is just a portion of what he shared.
The music that's in front of me, of course, a Beethoven symphony or Tchaikovsky symphony, whatever it is, that's like a set of instructions, or rather it's like a set of blueprints. And it's as if you have to take those blueprints and rebuild that house, but you have to build it in a manner that you can live in it. And so there's some structural things that are there. I often say that score study is a combination of both emotion and intellect. You can't have only intellect because then you don't have art, and you can't have only emotion because then you don't have integrity. So you have to combine what the composer gives you and then what you feel. Whatever I'm conducting at the time, I'm in love with. I just did Beethoven's Third Symphony with the Seattle Symphony a couple of weeks ago, and now I'm about to do a concert at the Hollywood Bowl with Ledisi, and now I'm in love with Ledisi's music. I mean, so I don't create labels. I just enjoy where I am at the time.
For Another View, I'm Lisa Godley.